And with great thanks from the festival to the jury, I'll hand you straight over to David Dumas, jury president.
Thank you for coming. We're very excited to announce to you our winners. First up, our mission was Cannes is the best show in the world. And what they should be doing is rewarding work that shows clients and agencies everywhere the way forward. This is what's coming. This is what you should take back to your offices to understand what to do and what to leapfrog, and how to keep creating for what's coming, not what was in the past. So while we awarded many brilliant television commercials, we also awarded many great new films that show up on the web, interactive, digital, long form. And our Grand Prix winner is a long form film that showed up on many screens. And I'm proud to tell you it's from Tribal DTV Amsterdam for the Carousel Philips film project. I don't know if many of you know that, but it's a film that by itself is quite brilliant and beautifully executed. But if you watch it online and you roll your cursor over it, you realize that there are films within the film demonstrating the Philips TV set, showing you how they made that amazing film. You get to interact with it, play with it, and it's what we call now a magnet. In other words, the work that's produced today must draw viewers in voluntarily. They're no longer just passive victims watching television. And to draw you in voluntarily, it has to be extraordinarily engaging, creative, and just mind-blowing. So we think this is, and we're very proud that we made that decision. And I will tell you that it was a unanimous decision by this extraordinary jury who has all won many lions and pencils in their careers. All of us were blown away and delighted by it. There were some other great things that we looked at, some great commercials and other films, but that was one that kind of nosed out because of its forward look. Does anybody have any other comments you want to make about that film? Why don't we show it?
Remember, great cinema is all about great light.
So, kind of hard to see on that little screen setup there. It's a beautiful carousel that goes all around and starts back at the beginning. And again, you can stop it at many points along the way and go into it and see a new movie about the part you stopped at. Just a great piece of creative, many screens, shows the way forward. Are there any questions? Anybody want to talk about any of the other winners or this winner? It always starts with nobody asks, and then please.
Hi, Jeremy Lloyd from Marketing Bag in Canada. Just a quick question about the Taxi Gold winner, the Viagra spots. This campaign has been in the mix for a couple of years now. I'm looking for comments on how established campaigns vary in, pardon me, I'll rephrase that. Does the fact that this is a running campaign change the conversation in mental consideration versus new ideas, new campaigns?
Jenny, you want to take that?
I think that we were always, in everything that we looked at, we were looking for something new, and probably the hardest thing to do ever is take something continuous and make it new all the time. And the incredible genius of Taxi over the years is taking something you can't talk about and finding extraordinarily different ways of talking about it. So it felt, if this had been the first one, if this had been the first campaign in that long-running series, right? They don't do the same thing over and over again, as you well know. And so it felt fresh and new and fun and insightful, and to find a new way to talk about something you can't talk about that you've already talked about 10 times in new ways seems pretty remarkable and new to us, and it was just beautifully done.
Other questions? Yes.
Hi.
Oh, sorry.
Hi. I'm Noor from Exchange for Media in India, and for the first question for the June president. When you were speaking to us on the press line, you had mentioned that during the shortlist there was a certain rigor that you wanted your jury to apply, so that even the shortlist meant something. I wanted to know if you followed that for this as well, and did you continue? Do you apply the rigor after the shortlist is again contested for the golds and the silvers and the bronzes?
That's a good question. Yes, we did apply the same vigor, and this was a shorter shortlist too. And what we did was the same kind of process. We went through it and we created kind of a long list. And then we applied extreme vigor. This is the best show in the world. Everything should be earned. And I think maybe in the past, the longer shortlist, maybe some things were on there that maybe weren't quite as deserving. So here, it's a great honor to be on the shortlist. It counts as a point in your score on Cannes. And then to win a Lion, it really makes it that much more impressive. Our thing is that this is a tough economy, and clients have had to cut back, and they've had to do far less. So the power of creativity can take less and make it do more. And really, be an economic multiplier when applied right. So you're going to see, I bet you hardly any, maybe a couple slip through, scam ads, I doubt it. And you'll see very few trifle accounts. It's real brands and real companies with real and complex problems that people use to brilliant creativity to help solve.
Fair enough. May I ask one more question to the Indian jury person, Nalodaz?
Do.
Thank you.
Ask two?
And hopefully just one. And if you could speak a bit about the winning work, We've Got Gold. And am I right in understanding that this is the first ever gold film line for India?
Talking about the Times of India.
Yeah. Have you ever won a film gold line before?
I'm not in charge of keeping the record.
No, you should know that, Noel.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, no, as far as I remember, I don't think we got a gold for film. And I was involved in the work, so I may be biased towards it. But I think what really cut the eyes for the jury was that this is a particular state in India which is known for actors turning into politicians, reaching their peak and seeing their downfall in the space of a few years. And A Day in the Life of Chennai captured that whole journey in the space of one day. And I think just looked really refreshingly different. What made some of the non-Indian judges should talk about the event.
Yes. I think I haven't seen this piece of work before, so we saw it live together, and we've been blown away. I mean, the more you see it, the more details you discover out of this film. And not living in that country, you can see so many insightful way of thinking about social life and politics, just summarized in less than a minute with an amazing music. So it was nearly perfect, and we really liked it from the day one.
Question here.
Good morning. I'm from Spain, from the Advertising Journal. Just two questions. How do you see the Spanish participation in this year's festival, first of all? And then there's a comment about that when a member of the jury of a country has to go out from the room where the jury is working, that they are not really able to defend their country campaigns. Not about their company campaigns, but their country campaigns. So
what was the first part of the question?
The first part of the question is how can a jury from, for example, from Brazil, can defend the Brazilian companies and the campaigns when he's out of the room?
Okay.
But the first one is how do you see the Spanish participation? So thank you very much.
Well, first of all, the Latin participation is great. You see some beautiful awards, and DDB Brazil and Almap BBDO are the first and second agency of the year, advertising agency of the years this year. So there's great participation from specifically Brazil. As far as your second question, nobody left the room. There's no defending. See, that's not how we approached it. We agreed in the beginning, we're not going to do block voting with countries, we're not going to make deals, no politics, no time for that in this kind of economy. This show is about rewarding excellence and recognizing the best work, no matter where it came from. And if you look at this list, you see countries represented everywhere. Some new countries like India, some old countries. So there's none of that, and everybody just kept their eyes on making this a brilliant show that clients and other creators can take back to their offices and learn from and use. So I was proud to tell you this is the most apolitical group, press too, that you'll ever have stumbled upon.
Thank you.
I would add that the way David did the jury, that each country wasn't rendered silent. So if you had to explain how apt a film was and what it meant in that country, we were all able to explain to each other the deep meaning of that, without emotion or anything like that, but people were very open to each other and learning about different places. So I thought it was very, very fair, actually, the jury, extremely fair.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think the question itself assumes that a judge from a particular country would defend work just because it's from that country, and we addressed that right away and dismissed that right away as not the kind of can we want to have this year at all. So that never really came up as a problem, and I think this jury can be really proud of not having any nationalist leanings at all. It was always about what's the best work, period.
You know, what was beautiful about it is we went to dinner, we hung out in the beginning, we became friends quickly, so that all politeness and awkwardness goes away, and we sit around as a group and just talk about the work. And the really good shows are the opinions of the assembled jury, and then they kind of put a point of view on the show. And everybody really left the egos out, their work or not, and just went for the best stuff. Because I think you'll see, it's very obvious. Other questions?
Mark Smitty from The Guardian. What do you think about the overall quality of the film category this year? There's certainly been less buzz around it. And second, can someone explain the special commendation?
Bill, you want to take that?
I knew he was going to I'll do the special commendation if that's okay, and someone else can ask the other. Basically, there's, we know what it is, right? It's been announced. So, the special commendation, there's an extraordinary piece of work that I'm pretty sure you probably have all seen, and it's the kind of Charles Stone What's Up change remake, and it's you know, as a standalone kind of political statement, it is perhaps second to none. It's an adorable piece of work that absolutely kind of captures 8 years under Bush. It's just beautiful, But unfortunately, you know, there are rules, and the rules are that every single piece of work needs to be a commissioned piece of work. And the Obama camp, you know, obviously hadn't commissioned it. It was a single-minded initiative from Charles Stone, and we felt that it was so significant that it really needed a special kind of mention. We've avoided kind of creating a new category because that would give us all sorts of issues moving forward. But I'm sure you'll all agree that this deserves a special mention. So,
you know, we have it if you'd like to see it. A special mention that didn't quite fit the requirement of the show, but here it is, and it's brilliant, so we put it on the side to say it's worthy of viewing and admiring. So why don't we take a look?
Fundamentals of our economy are strong, but these are very, very difficult times. And we've always believed that our best days are ahead of us.
Hello?
What's up, B?
None. Lost my home. Looking for a job. What's up with you?
Still in Iraq. Watching my ass.
True. True.
Yo, who's that?
Hold on for a second. Yo, pick up the phone.
Yo, forget the phone. I need painkillers. You got money for painkillers?
Just pick up the phone. Hello?
What's up? Where's Dookie?
Hey, yo, Dookie!
So what's up, B?
Change. That's what's up. Change.
Budweiser doesn't, you know, but, so, because he entered it himself, there was no paying client, and the rules are, it would be unfair to everybody else to just have self-generated stuff with no parameters, but it's so brilliant, we just wanted to recognize it. Any other questions?
It's Václav from Strategy in Prague. I'm very sorry for not very original question, but this is our only accolade that the Czech Republic got in any category. I need to ask you about the comments on this Czech bronze from the National Museum. It's called Munich, if anybody remembers, please.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we love that one. Lisa, you want to take that one?
I'm sorry, which one?
Spitting, the museum in Czechoslovakia.
Sorry. Yeah, I think there was a lot of great discussion around this. It was a really simple idea with a great insight. So everyone liked it. Everybody, I think, agreed that it was a strong bronze. And just a really simple but incredibly insightful piece of
Nikolai also has a great insight on Munich. Why don't we have him say something to you? Is that a mic over there again?
Yeah. Yes. No, I mean, we all think it's a really beautiful film, and it shows one thing more, that is sometimes things which are very local, which this is the story about the deal when the Germans gave away Czech Republic and so on, and took over that. It just shows that even though you have really local stuff, which is very, close to the country, the jury really takes their time to sort of get into it and learn about it and discuss it. And it's a really, really nice and strong piece of work. And yeah, you should be on it.
Beautiful piece. And we know how emotional this is too. Okay, very well.
I'm from Munich, in Germany, freelance. I see in your jury only 3 women. Any comment?
They were really noisy.
Well, the only comment is that, The reality is most of the creative people in the industry are male. I don't know why that is. It's not right. It's just how it is.
But I think it's not right.
Well, none of us feel it's right. Maybe I should let Sophie. You want to address that?
We all have in our country, and everyone, most of the creative directors are really men. And why it's happened, it's not so clear, it's not so obvious. It's a long, long discussion. It's not only in advertising, it's everywhere. So it's not a simple question. So everywhere in Wall Street, why there are no women? I don't know what you answer. Sorry.
We had very tough women on the jury. Yeah. I wish there was more.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery. I can't. It's not right though. I can't explain it.
I think you should know. Huh?
Say again?
I mean, I think you should know why it is a mystery.
How come you don't know?
It's not an advertising industry thing. It's we started working on the 50s. We were at home, we were raising family, making babies. So I'm happy that we have 3 women here. It's not so.
I'd like to address it. I do think that in this industry, as David mentioned, that there just aren't a lot of women in senior positions. But those of us that are in the senior position, we try, at least myself personally, I don't look at this as being gender or a stereotype. I think that this jury is about the best people in the industry getting together to judge. And I believe that the women, can stand up to all of the men here on the jury as being very proud of what we do and doing our jobs well. And I think that it's always been about a selection of who's the best talent and who will best represent their country and who will best represent the jury can. So I don't care if there's 8 women or 3 women or 1 or 22. I think this is about the best jury, and I think we have a great jury this year.
Dave, are you going to answer the other question?
What was that question?
What the jury thinks about the quality of the work that was.
Oh, so didn't remember that. Sorry. So what happened was the entries were down this year. But we felt the same amount of brilliance was entered as any other year. I think what people did was they decided that borderline work, or even frankly the weaker work, they wouldn't take a shot on this year. But the same brilliant few hundred things are here. And I think it's as strong as any year I've ever seen. I invite the other jurors to weigh in too. What did you think, Steve?
I want to.
Thank you. I was going to do a song. Look, in the initial stages, I was a little bit scared. I think under the current economic crisis sort of situation, I think there's still a load of crap coming in. But the most encouraging thing by Wednesday, it was quite exciting because there was actually a number of options for Grand Prix. So I think the standard was pretty good, even though it was quite low in interest.
Richard? Yeah, I think that everybody, film for many years here was, the pinnacle of our business, and probably the most focus and energy went into it. And business has changed, and it might reflect that in the work that we're moving across, and it is definitely reflected, and we talked a lot about it in the show, that within the winning Grand Prix came from the category outside of conventional broadcast television production. It came from an online interactive world, and we all watched longer format films and had discussions about the changing way that we do our work, and that it's changing, and things are a little different. And an idea is no longer manifested itself in a single television ad that everybody can say this is the only thing that we're about as a business. We're a bigger, more eclectic mix of ideas. And film is now one of the tools, not the tool.
Did that answer your question?
Hello, Laura from Shots. I just wanted to ask about the T-Mobile dance that won gold. That's a campaign that seems to be not really about the film. It was about PR and the event, etc. So when it came to judging it, how much did the other elements of the campaign affect your decisions?
Tor, do you have an opinion on that?
Where are you? Hi. I think it has a lot of different elements to it, but the inside is first and foremost a great idea. And the inside is that when people do stuff, people start sharing the stuff. So yeah, it's also a campaign, but as a film itself, just as a film, if you didn't even know about the rest of the stuff, it's still a great idea, and it's an amazing piece of film, I think. That answers the questions.
And you know, again, the direction things seem to be going, these events, PR, films, they're all blurring into one new kind of approach. So that's an example of what we think, again, showing the way forward. Other questions?
I'm Sylvia from the Netherlands. Last year the jury rewarded 2 pieces of work with a Grand Prix. Was that an option this year? And I was wondering if you could tell us something about other contenders for the Grand Prix.
Okay.
Yeah, we actually considered that. We considered giving 2, and we considered dividing it into, I guess you could say, sort of digital internet and then true, pure TV. But I think, like David said, those lines are blurring so much. We just wanted to make a strong statement about a great piece of creative that pointed the way forward and had a lot of levels. And we were lucky enough to have an entry that we felt really summed up so much of what we felt was important creatively and really looking forward to the future. So we dismissed the 2 Grand Prix idea and just went for the strongest piece of work that met all of our criteria very, very easily.
Hi. No, I think Vision Lab is a good example of can a piece of communication change the way in which this kind of dealers as a trade can communicate, changing the way that you see always the fact of getting the benefit of the product just as a rational demonstration. I mean, it was a very strong campaign. We voted, it became first in the ranking in the category, and obviously comparing this piece of communication or this ad with the other pieces in the whole categories. Obviously, we got a very, very nice silver because if you see goals are obviously on a step beyond. So it's a good performance. It's a very strong campaign, and I think the category was so good.